All right, everybody, welcome to Marketing Hacks Live. This is our very first episode of it.
Yep.
And for the next half an hour or so, we're going to be doing some Q&As. We're going to do some site audits, and it should be a lot of fun.
So first we're going to start with introductions. We're going to have everyone say their first name, their position at Clickx, and let's do your favorite social media platform. So we'll go down the line.
Okay. I'm Josh. I'm the digital marketing specialist, and my favorite social media platform is LinkedIn.
Hi, I'm Tina. I am the marketing coordinator at Clickx, and my favorite social media platform is Instagram.
And my name is Solomon Timothy. I'm the co-founder of Clickx, and I would have to say Facebook. Facebook is where I live these days.
My name is Taylor. I'm on the client strategy team here at Clickx. I would say for business, definitely LinkedIn is my favorite platform. A lot of advantages to using LinkedIn.
I'm Amanda, and I'm the graphic design intern, and my favorite social media platform is Instagram.
All right, so before we move on, we want to talk about what's going to happen for today's episode of Marketing Hack of the Day. We're going to do a quick intro about Clickx, and we also have a new product announcement, so Please stay tuned for that. We're going to do the website audits, like Saul said. We're going to do question and answer, and maybe there will even be a giveaway if you comment on the sidebar.
Cool. For those of you who don't know what Clickx is, we're a marketing intelligence platform. We really built this for the businesses that are out there doing lead generation, trying to generate leads, but they're continuing to fail because they can't figure out what's working in their marketing. So we call that solving the marketing black box. Businesses out there, they continue to do paid search or organic search. They might hire an agency. They will bring on a marketing person, and they'll do all these different tactics trying to generate leads, but they don't really understand where the leads are coming from. So we want to solve that because our belief is that if you can measure it, you can really manage it. So that's sort of the motto that we live by, helping companies figure out all the different challenges and all the different sources of leads that they can get, and helping them assess that so that they can do a better job. So if you look at the platform really quick, it's very straightforward. We go through SEO components, we have competitor components, social media components, local and reputation for those businesses that are local, and analytics. I guess that's a high level of what the platform can do.
Yeah, absolutely. If I could kind of jump in there. My favorite part about Clickx is not only are we getting a baseline of what's working and what's not working, because we have all those insights in one place, you're going to get some actionable insights into how do I fix those, right? It's not enough to say, I'm generating X amount of traffic from organic search.
Sure.
Well, how do I get more, right? And that's that equation that you're talking about. And how do we tweak that? If we understand how many visits do I need to drive to get X number of
500
leads
contacts,
and then ultimately sales, right? Because that's what you care about, is growing the business.
The entire funnel is right on the dashboard, which is really the high level for a business owner. They don't need to know the details about SEO or paid search. It's just to know how much visits you have and how many contacts did I generate. And if you don't create enough contacts, then you don't have quality traffic. And from the contacts that could be phone calls or form submissions, how many of them are becoming customers? If you can get that figured out for your business, then you're already off to a great start. And the problem is, this is where most all the small businesses fail. And I know, conversions is very top of mind for businesses, and that's kind of the reason we were talking about the product announcement that Tina talked about. So to give you a quick a view of what is the new product that we want to announce, we're calling this Clickx Free because we understand how hard it is for businesses to get traffic in the first place. And if you have traffic and you don't convert them, then you're losing potential revenue. You're leaving money on the table. So what we've done is we've generated a tool that you could use immediately to start generating leads on your website. So if you go to our current website, you simply just punch in Clickx.io, you'll see that there's a bar on the top where we say, hey, get your questions answered on Marketing Hack. That is what we call the welcome bar. And we have a form on the side here that you can customize completely to match your website and your offer. And these two tools, one is called the lead form and one is called the welcome bar, is completely available to you, free of cost.
And Solomon, what's the advantage of having those two different options for research?
So the challenge that people have is that if you look at your Google Analytics, you get a lot of traffic coming to your homepage, and very few people actually get to contact us page to convert. If you can put a form early on, show it to them right on the homepage. Chances are they're more likely to convert with whatever offer that you have. And it's another discussion itself, testing different offers. So by going to Clickx, customizing it, you can test different offers, because a lot of people get stuck on putting in, 30-minute consult, contact us for an hour or free estimate. Well, that's really bottom of funnel. You might want to give them something else that when they're not ready to have a 30-minute consultation, right? So you could customize. What we put here is get a free website audit, submit your site for live audit on the next Facebook Live. We just wanted to get somebody's contact information so that we can talk to them, nurture them, show them value, and potentially figure out if this is a good fit for them. That's what businesses really need to do. So these tools are completely available to you free of cost. All you have to do is go to clickx.io/free and get on the beta list. We're rolling that out little by little. And once you fill that out, you'll be on the list to go. And that's how you get Clickx free.
Awesome. And do you have to have any kind of development skills in order to add that to your website, or how does that work?
That's a great question, Taylor. You don't. All you have to do is put one little JavaScript onto your website. And once you do that, you go into the platform and you click on conversion tools, and you can easily customize what goes on the welcome bar. So you can see on my screen right here, I have so many different options. This is the one that's actually live. You can just jump in there and customize it, and it's that easy.
And
Whatever.
how would you change the color or something like that?
Colors right here. Change the background color, and you're doing it live. And once you hit update, it goes into the website. So you can match it to any custom color of your website. And same with the lead form that we talked about a second ago. Whatever content you put in there, whatever offer that you want to give it to your audience, it's that easy to go ahead and customize. So let's just say you have a promotion coming in for the summertime. You go in and say, hey, come in and enter your email address so you can get 20% coupon or whatever else. Or you have something else coming in fall. It's that easy.
Awesome. All right.
So let's get into the real meat of our Facebook Live.
So we're going to dive right into the website audits. And these are some that we got submissions from you guys. Right now we're going to go over 3 because that's kind of all the time that we have for today. But some things that we're going to look for is content. So things like your copy, your images, even your videos that you have on your website. Also SEO, we're going to look at the grader report. And we might even dive into some of your social media platforms. So be sure to stay tuned to see if your website is on this list.
All right, so the first website we're going to look at is Anamos Tours, and they specialize in travel planning in Europe and on the Mediterranean.
All right, so what do you guys think? I got the website open. I'm going to take a look at it real quick. Let's see what we can come up with. So,
okay.
All right. I'd say this pop-up.
That pop-up needs to maybe not be there.
Yeah, I think this is...
Yeah. Especially if it's like the first time you're visiting that website and you don't know who that company is, you might not want to like the Facebook page right away.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah.
So that's an option. Again, I don't know if Google penalizes you for having intrusive pop-ups. It's something that they talked about. But maybe you can do that 30 seconds after you're engaging. Maybe if you scroll down halfway through, then the pop-up comes.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than I haven't even seen the website and there's already a pop-up. And I see that with a lot of websites where they have pop-ups trying to get the mailing list before I even know what the website is. I got there to read the content. I don't even get to read the content. I'm already having to subscribe. I'm like, I don't want any more emails.
Yeah.
I have more emails than I can handle.
So aside from it being a frustrating user experience possibly, what are the other kind of negative side effects of that? I mean, if somebody comes there and they don't like it, then they're going to leave, right?
Yeah.
It increases your bounce rate.
Right.
So, and that looks bad from an SEO perspective. You can't get people to stay on your website and go to another detailed page, and all of a sudden you have high bounce rate. Google sees the engagement rates are going down, and there goes potential organic traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that a lot of people, when they think of bounce rate, they're thinking of Google AdWords, search ads, and if people are clicking on those and then they're bouncing, of course it's going to increase or decrease your quality score, those sorts of things. But Google actually looks at that a lot from an organic standpoint.
Absolutely.
And things like time on site and bounce rate. If a lot of people are clicking on your website, you're the first organic result, and then they're leaving quickly, Google's going to see that as, hey, this isn't the most relevant result.
Right.
We're going to bump this down and show somebody else, right?
Exactly.
So if you're doing research for planning your travel to Europe, and if this was the first result, I think in a second we're going to find out it's not.
Right.
But if this was the first result organically, people were leaving, it wouldn't last very long, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of negative side effects to that. Tina, what are some ways that maybe they could go about getting some more likes on Facebook rather than being so intrusive?
I think starting off a blog, building up an email newsletter with that, and then also promoting it through your social channels. So on your Facebook, on your Instagram, you could also link it. Doing things like Instagram Live or just showing off what are the possibilities for traveling with your company through those types of channels.
Great.
The other thing that I'm kind of missing here is content. I don't really see any, like you said, you mentioned blog. I can't see a blog in the top level navigation. I wouldn't even know if there's any additional content. So let's just click on Italy because that's the first thing, that's how people serve. They click on the first thing that they see. So if you want to put something important, you put it way at the top. Don't make them think, right? So on this page, there's very little content. I mean, I'm also seeing a form that doesn't have a title. So what should this form, is it to request more information? But obviously that's somebody missed that part. But having this little content, and I'm trying to generate leads to get someone to buy several $1,000 ticket and, hotels and everything else, I would say they might be less likely to do that because it just doesn't give me any offer. Now, we talked about converting and the Clickx free and stuff. Mm-hmm. There's no offer on the page that I can take advantage of. There's not even like download our 12 steps to, having the best vacation in Italy. There's nothing like that. So how are you going to convert someone to even put on the email list to send the email, right? Yeah. So what else do you guys have, man? There's obviously there's a lot of opportunities.
I'm going to say that it also is kind of too busy with all the images. The images are really large. Some of them aren't the best quality also, and it just kind of distracts the user from actually reading all the content just because it's so image heavy. There's images on images from the background.
I think some of the background images could be taken out to make the content stand out more.
Yeah.
And the text, I think that some of the text, there's like some yellows and whites used, and it's just a little hard to read when there's like a light image used in the background.
They can really, I think, simplify it and make it just better to read.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing that I like is you can quickly understand what it is they do. You'd be surprised that a lot of websites, you have to surf around for a little bit to really, like, what do these guys do, right? You go to their website, I see the name, and I see that hero image there. They do Mediterranean tours, travel planning. Like, I understand what they do. Mm-hmm. What I'm curious about is how do people find this website, right? So maybe we jump into that website grader report and take a look at how are they driving traffic, because having a website today is great, but everybody has a website. So how do we get noticed? How do we get found? How do we get in front of our consumers?
And even before we do that, I don't even have a phone number to dial them. If I was really interested and I found this website, I wanted to call and not always have our phones handy, but looking at this site from a mobile device would be the next thing to look at, is how beautiful does it look on a mobile device? Because you know that most of your traffic is going to come from mobile devices. And if we overlook that, regardless of how beautiful it could look on a desktop, you might be losing conversions. So we're looking at Clickx Grader. Taylor, what is Clickx Grader for all of you on there that don't know what that is?
Yeah, Clickx Grader is this great tool that we developed to help users get a good understanding of how their website is performing from a marketing standpoint. So it really doesn't have anything to do with the graphics or the design or all those things that Amanda was talking about. It's really how are people finding your website? Where are we driving traffic? What are we doing? Is there any technical errors with your website that may be affecting your rankings organically? It's also going to look at some of your competitors so you can do some sort of competitive advantage. So I definitely recommend anybody that has questions about how their website's performing, run a grader on their website, and then also run some on their competitors, see how they stack up. So where would they go to find that?
If you want to run a grader for your website, just clickx.io/grader. It's very simple. If you go to our website, you'll probably see it right at the top. But let's look at this tour company and how we see the website. Even this is a free, right? It's a free tool. Anybody can do this on any site. This is what the system is outputting. There's very little traffic coming to the website right now. There's potentially, let's say, a couple hundred. I mean, I'm not saying it's a huge visitor website because our system is recognized as very low. And some of the keywords that they rank for right now aren't necessarily really relevant to what they need. It's like the
So
average
can
temperature.
everybody see? Everybody can see.
Yep,
this on the
everybody can
screen?
see this. So the
can-
average.
let's explain a little bit what we're looking at. So when we look at these keywords, can we explain, just in case anybody doesn't know what a keyword is and what the keyword position means, and then also the search volume?
Sure. So right off the bat, our system will go try to find relevant keywords that you rank for and display it on this chart. And keywords, what somebody would, it's a query on Google, right? You search for something. When you show up for the wrong keywords, it's because the website hasn't been optimized properly to show up for the proper keywords. And then Google just shows up for whatever it thinks it's more relevant, like 4.5 stars out of 5. That's not a keyword someone would search, right, to find a tour guide company. So the other one, it says average temperatures in Mediterranean. I mean, that could be relevant. Maybe
People
somebody's
are
trying to go there.
Very, very beginning stage of your planning for your trip. Maybe you're
Exactly.
looking for that, so that's not bad.
The second column is keyword position. So position is the number, the spot that in which you rank for. So first page has 10. So if you're 11, then you're on the top of second page. Volume is a guesstimate of how many people search that on a monthly basis. Again, cost per click is what you would have to spend on Google Ads to try to get that.
So let's look at a couple of these keywords. So like tour of Italy and Greece. That to me, that's like prime
hot.
keyword.
That's
right?
hot. Because I don't know if I want to go to Italy. I don't know if I want to go to Greece.
And I need
Right.
somebody to help me plan this. So what are we looking at, and why aren't they getting any traffic for that search?
So right now they're on 62nd position. So it's like page 7, right? This is past page 6. No one really goes past page 1. We all know that. The most, amount of clicks are at the top 1 to 3 spots. So if you're on page 6, that tells me that Google has some idea that, this is a relevant site for it, but it just doesn't have the content or the authority or the engagement, like you mentioned, to get it to the top. So I would start with content. Because that's really what that's the thing that you can actually contribute, that you don't have to do anything. You can do that on your own time. Hire a copywriter, go out there and try to guest post on other websites that customers are looking for tour, and figure out how you can get some of that link, build that authority. That would be
And
one
what's
way.
the easiest way? The blog is probably
It would be the
easiest
blog,
way to get
absolutely.
started.
So becoming a media company is what I would usually recommend to. And it sounds crazy, but you have to continually produce content on a regular basis if you want to win. But from an organic perspective, there's some relevancy in these keywords, like Italy, Greece tours. I mean, if I was on the first spot, I can guarantee you that you would get calls and leads off of that. There's no doubt about it. Off to a great start. There's definitely some other technical things like a title tag, meta description. Those are all there. Not any social media links, which means that there's not an outlet, like you mentioned, that somebody can go learn about it and like it on Facebook. The next thing that the grader looks at is whether you're doing any money on Google AdWords, which is paid search. There isn't. So if you don't rank on organically, you only have one other option, which is go pay for the traffic. If you want traffic and you don't get anything organic, then you got to go pay. And if you don't pay, then you're basically out of luck, right? There's no other way. So they're not doing that. From a website perspective, so the grader looks at your website from a desktop and mobile and gives you some high-level recommendations on what you can do. There's definitely some opportunities here to improve the website. So maybe it's the load time, increasing the load time, making it look better. This is much more for a developer, but if they can compress some of the images, that would help increase the score for a website. And you can see that the mobile is not the greatest, because on the mobile device there's not even a call to action above the fold there, and there's no content being displayed below the photo. So it definitely has a lot of opportunity for a mobile device.
Yeah. And so why are these things important? Why is the speed of your website important?
You see, Google's always in the business of rewarding quality over quantity, right? So if you can build a great website with great content and has great engagement, or you have the way to convert, then Google's much more likely to reward you, because, like you said, people don't go there and bounce back and go to the next result. It's a win-win for both parties. You have to build a website that Google's going to reward. Even if you do paid search, things like title tag and meta description is still important, because that's part of the quality score, algorithm that Google, they look at all the different things that you're looking for. Do you have the keywords that you're bidding on present on the page? Is it in the title tag? Is it in the meta description? So again, it doesn't hurt to build a quality website and trying to take the shortcut, which is I think where every business owner kind of falls, is that they look at their website as a brochure website. Like, oh, we need a website so we can put a domain name on our business cards or a brochure, and they go off and build a brochure website. In 2017, you cannot win with a brochure website.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're talking about social media. Like, you don't have any content. How do you actually post it on social media? You don't have anything to share. You can't just go and share your About Us page over and over. But anyhow, this is why it's important. You can't ignore any of this. I don't know if you need to add anything to that.
No, I think that's some great insights there.
Another thing, again, because Clickx is a very holistic platform, the grader gives you pretty much everything that you need to know. You got your SEO, you got the paid search, looking at the website, and backlinks. So a lot of people don't even know what a backlink is. I'll explain real quick. It is the links that other people are linking to your website. So if you have a blogger that is interested in what you're doing, and if you have a really good piece of content, again, nobody ever links to your homepage. They link to your blog post. You're generating incoming links just by putting out good content. And if you have enough links coming in from authoritative websites, not the crappy ones that you can go get yourself, then you're more likely to show up for that Italy Greece tours on the first page because other people talk about you. That's the first thing that Google can use as a means to find out how do I rank somebody is based on the quality of the content and the length of the content sometimes, the number of links that are coming in, the quality of the links that are coming in. And we'll look at that. So they do have a decent amount of links coming in from a variety of websites. So maybe that's the reason that they rank on the 6th page, because there are some good links that are from Europe.
Right. So the missing piece is really the content in this case.
And the website.
So what's a practical way someone would go about getting some links? So let's talk about the blog, right? So maybe they wrote a really nice, valuable piece about the top 10 places you need to go eat when you're in Italy, right? It's very detailed, showing the best courses, the best menus, pictures, everything. And then what do? They go to social media, they share a little bit about that. And then I'm doing my research trying to figure out where I need to go in Italy. Or I know Tina's traveling to Italy, so I share that to her. She writes on her personal blog about it and links back. People share this around. It's very valuable content, and then other people are finding it. Right? That's really the most natural way to build links, right?
Right. And another way to do it is if you Google the 10 places to eat, and you can send an email to that. Perhaps whoever's written that blog post and say, hey, I wrote another one. It's more recent. I just came back from Italy. And these are the hottest places according to today. Some of the places that you have on your website is closed, maybe. Can you give a link to it on your website? And they may or they may not, but it's the constant outreach and trying to meet other people that you're providing value to them and they're providing value to their audience. It's helping both people, right? Webmasters and bloggers out there, they're friendly people if you approach them from the right perspective. If you ask them to just link to your website, they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
But again, building links is a job on its own, but this website definitely has it. And looking at the competitors, we can actually look at some of the websites that do rank on the top, and we can compare whether or not what do they have going on. Because just looking at the organic competitors, these are other websites that are basically taking the share of search that we're trying to get for this client. So look, this website I'm on, it looks like it's got a lot more content, right? It looks like there's video content. Video is like hot. Yeah. If you can put videos on your website, you're more likely to have them engage and not bounce off your website, which clearly that's the strategy they're trying to use, is to get them on. And the other thing is they have call to actions above the fold, where we were saying that wasn't there. Yeah. There was nothing to do above the fold. It was just a big picture and some content.
The one thing I'd like to point out, hopefully everybody can see this that's watching as well. You might look at this and say, these guys are not my competitor because they have a lot more places that they send you, right? Travel to Asia and Canada and US and Latin America. But when it comes to competitors, like you said, you're competing with everybody that has even a sliver of what you do.
Expedia.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Right. Anybody that is showing up for those same kind of search terms, has the same kind of content, is talking anything about travel, right? It might literally just be a blogger that's talking about travel and they're not trying to sell anything. You're competing with them because you're all competing for that top couple positions in Google. So you have to analyze all those competitors, find out where there's overlapping themes, where there's areas of opportunity, and then develop your content strategy around that, because it's a very competitive landscape. It's not getting any easier, and you really need to get a grasp where you currently stand and then how do you improve. And that's one thing that I know we're talking just about the grader here, but with the paid version of Clickx, that's one thing that you have, with the click of a button. It's all that information on what your competitors are doing, what their strategy looks like, where those links, where those links,
where to get the links from, or what are your competitors doing that you can do easily. Like I clicked on another competitor because I know we're spending too much time on this one site, but I think it's worth taking a look at some of the competitors because this is what they're doing and they're doing it right. So here I have, it says Cruise Critic, and you can already tell this place is filled with content. It's like a newspaper almost. There's tons of content, and it's a lot more. It's got tons of white space, a lot cleaner to look at. So we talked about busy homepage and so on. Again, call to actions right above the fold. Again, folks, this is not complicated. You just have to think about, put yourself in the shoes of the person who's potentially your customer and whether or not you're making it easy for them, because they will reward you by doing what you want them to do if you would just make it easy for them to do it. So, what do you guys think that we can recommend this tour company? What hacks can they here on out go? And obviously, like I said, there's only so many minutes that we have to spend on it. But what do you recommend?
Talking about social media, it doesn't look like they have Instagram, which is a huge visual social media platform. And I think for a travel company, like that's a big thing to have people like taking vacations and tagging them. I think that would definitely help.
Yeah, social media definitely is a place for them to go and spend some time. What's the next one? Who's got
the next one? Next company we're going to look at is called the Social Reports. The Social Reports helps brands grow their influence and followers by blending actionable advice and social data together.
All right, I got the website pulled up. Are you guys seeing this? This is
so what do they what do they do? What was that? They're a social media analytics platform.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a keyword right there. Social media analytics, social media dashboard.
Okay.
And for all of you that can see that, she's got the Clickx free. Look at that.
Yeah. First thing I noticed is she's a Clickx.
And that's exactly what you want to do, is give them some sort of an outlet to convert. What can you do? And obviously that's a kudo. And otherwise, it's a beautiful website.
Let's look at that. Everybody look at the homepage here. If you scroll back up to the top there.
Sure.
So we talked about having different opportunities for people to convert, because not everybody comes to your website is coming for the same reason. So we see, using the Clickx tools, we have the option to learn more about real estate agents. It's a new
if there's
content offer that they have. They also have a free daily social growth tip. So I'm assuming this is signing up for their email subscription or newsletter or something along those lines.
Yeah.
They also have the ability to request a demo in big
and a free
bold,
trial.
and free trial there.
Or watch
a video. So if you're not even ready to actually convert in that sense, you can just watch a video. That's the most least invasive thing that you can do.
Yeah, I just like that it's all there in front of you right when you get to the homepage. It's above the fold.
Mm. And the other thing is that sometimes people are not sure, can I trust this brand? So they're looking for some sort of symbols of trust, so they can associate with, like, oh, if somebody else uses it, then we could use it as well. Which obviously is obviously there. And there's minimal content. Like I said, people don't read anymore. If we assume that everybody's reading everything you put on your website, we're wrong. There's not, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of content, so I don't have to worry about that. There's beautiful pictures that I can go through. So have you guys had a chance to look at the social media channels on the website, or what other feedback do you have? I think we can look at the grader.
Yeah. So a couple things just to clarify here. So we talked on the last one we looked at. We said there was not enough content. Not enough content. Now we're saying that they're doing a good job because there's too much content. So what is the balance there? And explain the difference of what we look for as humans when we're searching and what Google's looking at.
Absolutely. So if you're, for instance, your whole page, you want to keep it as simple and streamlined as possible, because that's where you get most amount of traffic. Try to draw conversions. And for your blog, it's all about quality content that you can put to generate incoming links, generate incoming traffic, to do the outreach and so forth. So your blog is where you should put most of your effort. Your blog is where you're really to show your personality and get as much detail into the problem that you're trying to solve. But if you put all that much content on the homepage, you're probably going to lose people. You put the most valuable stuff, like here's a highlight of what you should do. Here's what here's what we fixed. Here's the problem that we solved, and learn more about us. And here's the latest blogs, and that's about it. Mm-hmm. So we can take a look at the blog post, and we can look at the grader as well. The blog there's tons of content, so being blogged on a regular basis. You can see that it's not a once in a month.
So how often should people be blogging?
You know what? Ideally, if you were to ask me, I would say if you have the bandwidth, blog every single day, right? Because you need to be consistently creating content like you're a media publishing company. So that would be the first thing. But if you don't have it, if you don't have the bandwidth, you don't have some sort of a copywriting team, then maybe it's 2 to 3 times a week. But on a minimal basis, you gotta have something go up on a weekly basis, because you can't keep your social media page empty.
Sure. And what's the advantage to being active?
Well, again, if you want to stay top of mind, you have to use content as a means. You're always helping people. It's not to go, hey, sign up for a free trial or do this or do that. It's like, hey, here's the challenges. If you're a real estate agent, these are the challenges that you're going to face. The buyers today are using internet 95% to make a buying decision on how to buy a home. And if you don't know that, and if you don't think social media is relevant to you, you're going to be a dinosaur in 3 months. You know what I mean? Because all this other outlets is how people used to buy. They don't necessarily call an agent and say, oh, I'm looking to buy a house. Can you help me? They have it in their fingertips. They can swipe left or swipe right to find the house that they're doing.
Right.
They don't have to go to an agent.
Exactly. The way that we consume content is completely changed.
Absolutely. So if you don't put it out there, if you don't educate your realtors and this is the way to do it, you have to educate them, and that's how you drive demand for your product. That's how you get them to understand this is what they need to do, and here's a solution for that. Because everybody's creating a valuable solution, but they fail to educate.
So, since blogging is such a huge part of your strategy, your content strategy, your organic strategy, at Clickx we have developed some tools to help you not only create content, but also figure out what do you write about, right? Like you said, if you have the bandwidth, write every single day. Most people, even marketers, after a couple of weeks would run out of things to write about. So how do you research, how do you figure out different ideas on how to write blogs and what topics you should write about?
Well, I mean, there's so many different angles that you go, right? So inside Clickx, you have the keywords that you get from your Google Analytics or your Search Console that people are searching for, but you might not rank. So you can start with that content. There's certain, you might be on position 11 or 12 or 13, so you might need to write about those kinds of keywords that you never even wrote about, and Google still wants to rank you for it. The other element that I can recommend is take a look at your competitors' keywords and see what they rank for, and figure out, can you write about the same topics because you're also competing for the same keywords. That's an option. And what else would you say is an easy way out in getting content strategy?
Yeah, no, I think that's what I would recommend is write down or type into Clickx, your top 100 or 200 keywords that you rank for. And a different keyword is really just a different search term. So, I mean, one way that you can search something, there's 100 different iterations of that, right? Even if you only provide one service, you kind of pick that main content theme or topic, social media in this case, and then you develop this whole strategy about different things that you can apply to social media, what's important about social media, how do you leverage social media to drive sales for the business. And then I would look at my competitors and see what they're writing about, what Google is ranking them for, and what we can see what they're driving traffic for. And by the time you do all that and add your competitors' keywords in, I mean, realistically, you could have 1,000 different topics to write about. And then I would prioritize them based on the services that we provide as a company, and then also where we actually rank, right? So you mentioned if you're on position 12 or like page 2 of Google, that might be sort of a quick win for the company to say, there's 1,000 people searching for this a month. If we can bump this up to that first page, we can start getting some traffic.
Or what I would even do is that we're ranked on the 12th spot for this particular page. Instead of creating a new one, can we add more content to that, meaning that more of a long-form resource content, and that will get you to the first spot a lot faster because you have to outdo the competitor. So if the first page has 10,000 words on the first page, then your job is to not just create 10,000 more posts, is can I create a bigger, more useful resource than what's already out there.
Sure. No, I think that's one thing that people forget a lot is that you can edit it, right?
Yeah,
It's not set in stone. That's one thing about a website.
You can expand it.
You have this idea for this content piece and you write a 500-word blog. Don't go out tomorrow and write a 200-word blog, right?
I agree.
That's
the same
topic,
topic, right?
You have more ideas, it's evolving, people are commenting on it, asking more questions, you see another article, maybe you're linking to, or you add an additional service. There's a lot of things that change, and Google does like fresh content, and having those evergreen topic ideas allows you to do that.
Absolutely. What you recommend? I mean, we're looking at the grader. Let's take a look at the grader. The grader has definitely some relevant keywords like social media growth. That's something. I mean, we don't have social media analytics or anything like that in here, or a social media dashboard, but social media growth is definitely someone who is in that early buying stage. How do I get more awareness? How do I get more followers?
Right.
That would be something that they can do. So maybe
I think it's more attractive, right? People aren't. I mean, of course, they're concerned with social media analytics, but if you're a business owner or a marketer that's responsible for driving leads and driving growth traffic, you're not talking about analytics and saving money. The main topic you're talking about is how do we leverage this tool to grow our company?
Yeah.
And so that's what I would create a lot of content around that. It looks like they are. But of course you see there, so keyword position is 60. I mean, this is going to vary depending on where you're searching for, what other, modifiers you add to that search term. Maybe that's what they're going for, maybe it's not. But ultimately,
no, it says on the title tag is social media growth
tool. Right, exactly.
So
and that is to clarify too, that's the homepage. So that's really their main idea, their main topic is which is, like we said, a great idea, but it takes more time. We need more content, we need more links. And why do you need more links? We have to build up our authority, and just let's talk about what does that mean, authority, right? You can't trick Google anymore. You have to, in order to look like you're the most relevant result, you have to be the most relevant result.
There's no way to spam your way out of link building to get to the first page.
You can't trick people to come to your website.
Nope. Because, again, Google's always been in the business of rewarding quality over quantity. Yeah.
So if you want to show people and look like, hey, we're the best tool for social media growth, you have to really express that value in the content that you're writing. Other people need to believe it and link to your website and say, if you're talking about social media growth, this is the tool that you need to use. And that's really the only way. You can't, like I said, you can't fake it. You can't pretend that you're the best tool or the best result. You have to really become it, and you have to prove that through the content and the value that you're adding.
And they're not utilizing pay-per-click. Website could have, there's some opportunity to improve, again, compressing images. There's a video on the homepage that is in the background that could be compressed. Moving past that, the backlink section, the authority, is definitely an area for improvement. Maybe building out content, putting it on other websites as a guest post or something or another, or maybe submitting your tool to other websites that list other tools, like existing tools. Here's a social media analytics tools, and say, hey, we're another social media tool. Can you list us in your thing? Then you're helping that the author, build up their list. You're going out and telling them, hey, I noticed you list all these other apps. We should be there as well.
And that's a great idea for any industry. Any industry that's out there, I don't care if you're B2B, B2C, whatever you're selling or promoting or whatever your service is, there's a list somewhere, a directory of all the other guys that are doing it. And if you're looking for a plumber, there's a list, Angie's List or whatever it may be, of all the local plumbers in the area. So there is definitely 100 websites at least that analyze the different social media tools, marketing tools, technologies that you can be on. So that's a great idea for them to get some free links, if you will.
Absolutely. Build up that authority. And these competitors aren't exactly relevant because, again, the website doesn't rank for a lot of relevant keywords, so it's going to pick up random competitors. But as far as strategy goes, it's continually probably is number one to build up the authority because there's no issues on content. And maybe making the website a little bit more lighter weight so that it can load faster as Google would want it. Google's so fired up about making things faster. That's why they even rolled out Google app some time ago, accelerated mobile pages, which makes websites load faster, lightning fast on a mobile device. Again, mobile and fast. If you can get those two things straight, right, you will win. You will win.
All right, so what's the last website that we have today?
Okay, lastly, we're going to look at Citywide Adjusters. They're a company with a team of licensed public adjusters, and they handle insurance claims in Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Got their website open.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds interesting.
Again, I think this is, from looking at the first website, very busy, white on white, I can't read the content.
All the type is just really large, and it's hard to tell which is the most important to look at first.
And like the content at the top, you don't know like what insurance they do. It's just kind of unclear. You have to look at the pictures to determine that.
Mm-hmm. One good thing though is they have a call to action on the top right hand corner with a phone call.
Number.
Mm-hmm.
So at least,
and I would imagine, or hopefully on mobile, that's a clickable.
Yeah.
Click on that. And
They have it twice though, so I don't know if that's necessary to have it in the main content and then have it in the
Gotcha.
CTA.
So I liked what Amanda said. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on that. As a user, when you're looking at this from a design standpoint, your mind and your eyes kind of have to tell you what is important. And because everything is just like giant in your face, like you said, there's the numbers and then there's the phone number and then there's just like, it's all there. I don't know what they do, what I'm supposed to look at.
the first thing is the phone number. Like, I wouldn't call somebody to say, hey, what do you do?
Right.
I would call you when I know that this is what you do.
Just really distracting too with the image in the background with the white text on top of it. It makes it hard to read, I think.
Yeah.
And then I did notice that they have kind of the same content twice if you scroll down more. Keep going. So there's like those two cards right up there that say property damage and fire adjuster. And then when you scroll down, it's the same two pieces. When you flip those two cards, it's the same property damage, fire adjusters, and the about is all the same content that's being pasted
Duplicate content.
again
You can't fail people because, like I said, if you don't provide any value, what are they going to do?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to leave. Right? If you cannot come up with 3 sentences of content to put on there, it's definitely not going to be enticing for me to want to work with the company. I understand business owners are busy, but you're not the one building the website. You shouldn't be worried about every element of your marketing. You need to get some resources that can help you do that, right? Mm-hmm. Marketing and running a business is completely different roles. Usually when you're the owner and you have to do the marketing and you have to do the sales and you have to put out the fires, typically you end up with very poor quality, subpar experiences that consumers aren't really going to be excited to want to work with.
Yeah. So one thing I noticed too, that now you have it scroll down to the bottom, and this is a minor thing, but it's one thing that I don't like, is really linking to people to leave your website. I definitely understand the importance of having that social proof, and you have the Google reviews and Angie's List reviews, but is there a way to get those reviews right on your website? How would somebody go about doing that?
I would, like I said, one of the things in the local part of Clickx actually does exactly that. It'll download all the reviews and gives you an embed code that you can put onto the website so that they can see the reviews and decide to work with them rather than having to go to Google and then Yelp and then whatever else website to see if this company is legit. You have to consolidate all of them and put that all together, this unbiased list of reviews about your business all together in the same place. Or you can have a page on your website to look at the reviews and put them all there in that one page. Yeah. I agree with you that sending people out is less likely to because right next to it, Google would show other
that's
results,
the issue.
right?
And people are, the way that people interact now is just so fast-paced. And even if you did everything that we're talking about, creating content, building links, you're the very first result when somebody's looking for, Philadelphia or whatever that may be, insurance claims adjuster. They click on you, they go here, and they're like, oh yeah, I am interested in the reviews. And they click on that, and then you have a 4.5 star, and there's 2 guys ahead of you with a 5 star.
Right.
They're going to look at those, right? And so you did everything right, except for in that split second, you made them leave your website, even though you were trying to show them, hey, we are a great company, we have great reviews, which you do, but you never know what happens, right? Once we get them to our website, we got to do something to have them pick up the phone and call or whatever.
Another thing that I would do is there is the customer success, some stories, but maybe giving some stats that we've helped this person get $10,000 more. Because if I'm really going to hire somebody to help me fix my insurance case, I would want to know that this is kind of like a lawyer. You don't want to just hire the lawyer who just graduated last year. You want to know the one who's been doing this for quite some time and has a great track record.
Right. Especially in something like this. I mean, this is people's lives and belongings. And
exactly. You're going to go out of your way. So I think this is one of those things that you have very little time to convince somebody to contact you. So because of that, you want to be very straightforward with getting their attention and getting them to convert. Because, like I said, they have to decide who they want to use for adjusting the claim within a matter of hours, maybe a day the max, because the insurance company want to keep moving forward.
And if you look below testimonials, there's 3 images, but to see what they're each about, you have to hover over them, and I think that's
probably the template.
Kind of have to guess what it's going
to
be.
I would redo this entire website to be more simpler and more
clear.
Yeah, more clear for sure. These days, websites don't have to be hundreds of thousands of dollars to build. They're very affordable, right? You can go get a nice templated website for a couple $1,000s. I mean, small business wise, you don't need to spend tens of thousands of dollars.
And I think it's important there's so many options for small business owners. You see the commercials all the time to create a website. You can create a website in a day and by yourself.
Right.
What is the best platform in terms of usability, in terms of functionality for you as the business owner to make changes and edits, and then also what does Google prefer?
Right. I mean, if I were to pick all the websites that I like to build or recommend is WordPress. But you do need a developer. You can't drag and drop a WordPress website and build it up. But if you do have a WordPress website, I really believe that you're way ahead than most of your competitors when it comes to search engine friendliness and adding plugins to simplify and clean up your code and fix your redirects and everything else from an SEO perspective.
Yeah.
But that's if it was me. But somebody else who may not want to go that route, they could use any drag and drop website builder. But you do run into issues where you don't have access to the code to go tweak it to make it faster. Yeah. So it's the you got to decide what's more important to you. But if you're in it for the long game, which I hope every business owner out there is, then you shouldn't take the shortcuts. Yeah. And then you should invest the money and build a custom website in a WordPress platform that you could customize. I mean, it is free, first of all, and all you have to do is pay developer and hosting. And you don't need a developer 24/7. You just need it for the times that you need to make changes and build out the first version.
Sure.
So,
okay.
We can look at their grader real quick and see what they rank for. So obviously the website doesn't get quite a lot of traffic, but they do have some relevant keywords. Look, we got public adjuster PA, public adjuster Philadelphia. So they do have some great rankings. So they've been through some sort of a process to optimize the website, but I think where they fail is that experience, and improving that will definitely help increase conversions. Like for instance, having a phone number with no call to action. Doesn't it say call us? Or call us 24/7. Maybe that would be a way to get me to call you. Yeah. Is that 24/7? Somebody's there to answer my call. Maybe have some relevancy than just sticking a phone number on the top. Landing page is relevant. Let's just see, what else do they have? They even have SSL certificate. Not doing PPC. Would you recommend PPC for this company?
I definitely would. I'm not by any means an expert in insurance claims or the industry, but just from looking at their website, it seems like, of course, if your house caught on fire and you're looking to make an insurance claim, that's very split-second decision. It's very, it's not something you think about for 6 months and then make a decision, right? So I need to do my research, I need to find the best company, and I need to take action in order to get my life back.
You're doing this whole thing on a mobile device,
right?
And you're not even going to get your computer.
Right. And if if everybody's ever done a search on a mobile device, the paid search takes up the entire phone, right? Unless you have an iPad or something like that, it's going to take up the entire phone. So it's a very, very I want to say split second decision, but it's very time sensitive, right? And I would recommend paid search for that. On the flip side, because it is time sensitive and it's a very competitive space, I'm sure that it can be costly. But it all depends on what that ROI is and making sure you're properly optimizing those campaigns.
Yeah, so again, mobile, it scores lower than desktop. So that is definitely a it's going to negatively impact, even if you do paid search or do organic search. Backlinks, the trust flow is really low. So that tells me that the links that they have, for those folks that don't know what a trust flow and citation flow is like sort of the quantity of backlinks that you have, and the trust flow is the quality of the backlinks, of the total backlinks. So if you have really high authority backlinks, then your citation flow and your trust flow will sort of be in line. So it'd be 30 and 30. In this case, it might be 20 and 25 or something like that. But when you have 5% trust flow and 25% citation flow, which tells me most of the backlinks are not the greatest quality, so it might be some low quality websites that they got. So what I would work on is building more authoritative backlinks, not just another backlink. So this could be hurting them.
Right. And so what you're saying is you're judged on the same thing as the other websites are judged on. So in theory, you would want to get one link or multiple links from a website that also has a bunch of links to them.
Absolutely.
From other authoritative sites. So it's a very trickle-down effect. Right, exactly. So it's not enough to just, hey, I'm listed on this website. If that website isn't of any authority, it's not
a quality
website.
Link.
Right, then it's okay. But it's not what you're talking about, building up that trust flow. And this is kind of what we see here, right? 400 backlinks, nothing
47,
to, right. It's not a bad thing, but we're just really not trustworthy and links of high authority.
There could be press release websites, some blogs that they've ranked on. Like I said, they're just okay backlinks. They're not really helping. And there are relevant competitors because the site does rank for a good amount of keywords. I'll just click on it really quick and see if any of them look better. Again, like you mentioned early on, you should look at your competitors, and that's a way to hack your marketing strategy. And again, Angie's List show up, certified PAs shows up, but there's a lot of other adjusters. So again, it's going to be very competitive. I bet you $100 they're all doing paid search because it is a very competitive space and you have to make the decision very fast. Not impressed with that one. I would say this is fairly a little bit better user experience. Okay, but not the greatest. So the competitors aren't really taking over, I can tell you that much. It seems like a very green space to go dominate. Doesn't look like the competitor any better at marketing than this company citywide. Anything else to add, guys? Any other recommendation? Maybe not. All right.
No. So what can people do about that, right? So you take this information. Everybody that's watching is going to go run a grader. And then we don't want to just sit here and destroy everybody's marketing dreams, right? So how do you take this information and how do you improve it?
So first off, like I said, you have to develop into you have to invest into your website. So I would say every marketer out there, don't ever think that website is a once in 5-year project. If you want to be marketing and if you want to attract good quality visitors to your website, it is going to have to be something that you invest into. And you don't invest into something to get return today. You invest something in to get return next year, maybe in 6 months. It depends on your outlook. But if you need it today, you definitely need to invest more than somebody who's looking to do a long-term thing, right? So that would be the first thing. You have to invest into content. You have to invest into quality content, and then figure out how do you get the right kind of people to view it. So again, you could do things like paid search. You could do sponsor the blog post that you're writing so that your content is getting views, right? So you're not just putting out blogs that nobody really sees. That would be something that I would do. What else would you recommend, Taylor?
Use Clickx.
That's that too. I mean, you have to measure it.
We're talking about all these different things, and there's so many pieces to this puzzle, each of them equally important, and it's really hard without a tool that helps you understand what's working, what's not working, and then also gives you those insights we talked about into where to go next.
Measure it.
What's the next move, right?
Right.
And then ultimately measure that ROI like you're talking about. If you don't have that, you're sort of just kind of running in circles, hoping that it's working and hoping that, and then like you said, it's something that you're investing in for, not for tomorrow, but for 10 weeks from now, 10 months from now, 10 years from now. So the worst thing that you could do is do all of this and then knowing that it takes a long time to reap what you sow, wait a year and then it didn't work.
I agree. You can't afford to do that.
You have to track.
Nobody can afford to waste time, right? You can't waste a year.
And I think the other piece to that is that a lot of people don't realize all these little things that we're talking about, being active on the blog, being active on social media. I think as business owners and marketers of small businesses, we kind of think, I only want to do that 80% that's driving sales today, and they don't do those small things that really affect the rest of it, right? And so
conversions,
right,
the reviews that people look at, because they might want to look at how your reputation is before they buy.
right. Reviews are huge, right? I mean,
Exactly.
it's that social proof that it could be that last little thing that results in someone picking up the phone and calling. Is the difference between somebody who had 3 reviews, even if they're positive reviews, they only had 3, and somebody else had 53.
Right. And it's always going to make a bigger dent on making that decision that this company's been around longer or they've got more positive reviews. Yeah, from a measurement perspective, obviously, like I said, I think from my, I would assume like people, you would think that they would be measuring, but the fact of the matter is we would be building a platform if people were such amazing at, measuring. And the reason, too, is that when you add, you have an organic search campaign that you're running, and then when you add paid search to it, or you're trying to do social media, you are creating so much more complexities in what you're doing. So now you have to manage how your SEO campaign is performing, what keywords do we rank for, what do we come up with content, and then you have a paid search, and you're not even sending traffic to the same page. You might be sending traffic to a landing page. So what's the conversion rate on the landing page?
Right.
And are we A/B testing that? So that's a problem. Then you have social media content, and do people engage with my website? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So every channel that you want to go into, it's like exponentially harder. And that's kind of the reason why we know that business owners cannot do all of these things well at the same time. If you hire an SEO company, you have only so much knowledge about how SEO is doing. Then you have another company doing paid search. You have another consultant doing something else. Your social media people it's so much silo in your.
Yeah, that's a great point. So, would you recommend Clickx for people who maybe they say, "Hey, I have an agency that's doing all of this. I trust them. They're handling it." So, how would you use Clickx then? If you're not actually executing any of these campaigns, would you still recommend?
Absolutely.
Clickx?
It's like saying that I have an investor who is going to be, taking care of all my investments, but I don't want to see the statements.
Yeah. I don't want to look at.
I don't want to look at my bank account because you know what, I'm trusting that.
Yeah.
But if you do have some sort of a measurement tool in place, you trust your consultant so much, but you can actually see that this is yielding positive results for me. So it's unbiased. Obviously, it's only going to show you the results that you're getting. So you get phone calls, we can track that, right? It has the ability to track calls, so that's a lead for the business. If you're having people fill out the form, then you have that information. So you actually just look at the results and say, you know what, it is working. Whatever I'm spending, I need to spend more because I'm actually seeing that it's actually working. We're getting more traffic from previous months and we're getting more contacts. So it's a sign that I can invest more in it, right? It actually works both ways. I think if you're using a consultant, you at least have something to measure. But if you have nobody working on it, then you won't really be improving anything.
Right.
You want to go into the questions, Tina?
Yeah, we'll wrap up. Thank you for submitting the websites. If we didn't get to it today, we will have more episodes, so be sure to submit them in the landing page. So we're going to go right into question and answer. The first one comes from George, who is from the Anemos tours that we looked at. And he's asking, how can I market the personalized travel services to the destinations listed on my website?
I think we went very in-depth into that about creating content. I mean, I think we laid out a pretty good tour.
We gave George a lot of ideas.
We gave him a good tour of what he needs to do. I think we can move on. What else? What other questions we have?
Brad from Top Grading. My clients are always CEOs from small to medium businesses to global 1,000 companies. Word of mouth is the number one source of leads. I have a marketing company that does PPC and SEO, blogs, and a bit more, but does not have a strategy for getting my sales reps or me calls with CEOs. So what would you suggest?
Someone who's got so many campaigns running cannot get leads.
I'm a little confused by that question. So he's saying he's working with a company that's handling his marketing strategy, but he's not getting the lead sales. I think we kind of talked about this today in marketing, sales, digital marketing, whatever. There's none of that. It's all sales. That's all. Everything that you're doing is generating leads and growing a company. So if you're running AdWords campaigns or you're investing into a content marketing strategy that's not generating you quality conversations with CEOs, you're not doing it the right way. So how do you do that is you provide that value we talked about. If you're creating content, speak to those pains that those CEOs have, whatever service it is that he provides, consulting, I think. Speak to those pains and then position yourself as the expert or the solution to fix those pains. That's how you get in front of them. If you want to take a more active approach, you still take that same content, put it in some sort of an asset, a downloadable asset of, 3 pains that CEOs have with time management, right? And then how you're going to go about fixing that. And I would take that and I would promote that on like a LinkedIn or something. You can target people based on their position, industry, company size, whatever that ideal buyer persona is or that target market for you, and then put your messaging, put your branding in front of them, try to get some downloads, and then have your salespeople reach out to them. That's how you get quality conversation.
If you're not, probably there's a measurement issue as well, because he's got the right intention. He wants to do the right thing.
Yeah.
He's investing into services, and if he's not seeing the results, we need to find out which one of the channels is not driving the results, so that he can figure out what's working and invest more in what works.
Right.
Rather than just saying, I'm going to hire another consultant and another consultant. You have 5 consultants and you don't even know what works.
It's hard to say from the outside. You don't know how the campaigns are structured, if they're spending too much, too little. I mean, that could be a real possibility as well, is that they have these campaigns, but they're not spending enough to actually generate.
That's another good point. Maybe get a little bit more information. We can.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you can measure it, then you can manage it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can find out which one of them is performing poorly, I would stop it. I would stop the bleeding.
Yeah. Double down on your strengths.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got?
Next, we got a question from Lawrence, who owns a retail surf shop. What are the top 3 mistakes small business owners are making today, and what are some quick fixes that they can make to overcome them?
Businesses not. Again, I think a lot of folks have a short-term mentality when it comes to just their business outlook. Like I play a 100-year business game, and somebody is trying to do let's just make it through 2017 or 2018, and I'm going to just sell the business and move on. So I think it's your outlook. The mistakes are often made that you don't, like, if we as young folks are not investing into our retirement, then I would say that's the mistake, because we're going to get old at some point. We're going to, right? Social Security is going to run out of money, and we better have savings. So it's like, if you are running your business and you know that, you're not creating, let's just use marketing. You're not creating content. You don't have a marketing strategy that's going to help you out in the bad times. If you don't have a good, a good branding, then you're making the mistakes. I think not having that long-term view is one of the biggest mistakes I can see. And you have other companies who are investing tons and tons of money, but like they might do more brand awareness campaigns, or they might spend, time investing into educating to their audience, but it's going to pay back in the long run. When you don't do that, you're, again, bottom of funnel. Just looking for what is the next deal that I can get so I can make my year and move on with my life. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that I see people doing, because that's why they take the shortcuts. Like, I just need a website so I can have a website. Or I don't need that platform, or I don't need a consultant because I'm doing great right now.
Yeah. That would be my biggest thing that I see, is just waiting. Like, literally putting things off like that because you're focusing on what drives sales today. If you're thinking about building a website, I mean, if you don't have a website, you're way too far behind. But if you're thinking about building a website, or thinking about
making being
active on social media, you're thinking about being more active in your blog, you're thinking about starting paid search, any of these things you're thinking about,
or Facebook ads.
Right, do it yesterday. If you're thinking about doing it right now, you're already behind.
Your
competitors are doing it. I don't care what industry you're in,
right.
Your competitors are already doing it. And the longer you wait, the reaction time is exponential. You're falling so far behind. And the way that people are consuming content is advancing. I mean, just think about all the things that are happening with voice search and Alexa and all those different things. If you're not active and you're not out there and you're not showing these different search engines that we are the most relevant result, and that this is what should happen when you're searching this way, you're not structuring that content in the right way, you're going to be way far behind. If people aren't even going to Google physically to search and they're having a machine do it for them,
right,
you're going out of business.
Sadly. It sounds sad, but you're right. It is the way. It's the way it's trending.
Totally. And then one last question from Tarek from Troy Relief. How do I get more customers to try the service for the first time?
You know what? You got to incentivize. So I would say, if you wanted somebody to try, like for instance, like for us, we had to build a grader. We give things away for free. We said, here you go experience it, see what this is going to help you out. We're rolling out Clickx Free, which is widgets to help people improve conversions. Even before they invest $1 into our company, we're out there trying to help somebody else out. So I think if you can invest into someone else, if you can give them some sort of incentive, like, hey, like Uber would give you $15 towards your first ride, or tell your friend you get something else. Every single day there's some sort of app telling me to do something for me to get something back, right? So I would recommend incentivizing other users, or have your existing users get incentives. It's a double set incentive. Your existing user gets it, and the future user gets it.
So like a referral.
Double referral.
Yeah.
What else do you guys think?
That's what I would say. Value. I mean, showing that value, and then those sort of old school marketing things that have always worked will always work. People love free stuff. They love discounts.
Yeah.
Any way that you can incentivize, like you said, and say the first visit is 10% off or this or that.
Like sampling at Costco.
Right. Exactly. And you can sort of kill two birds with one stone with some of those things, right? You could ask for a review, and in return for that review, you get 15% off. And then the next person comes to your website, they see these great reviews,
and they're going to buy on it.
Exactly.
Or you give them a discount for being a beta user and say, hey, you can try your product,
right?
And then you would get it free for 6 months. Again, it all revolves around some sort of incentive or another.
Yeah.
Because you're so new, you got to do something to get something, right? You can't just expect.
And every business and every industry is different, and some whatever product or service that they're offering, I'm not sure, they may not be in a position to give it away for free. I mean, obviously that's expensive. But as you've seen historically, whoever can last the longest by giving away the most value has ultimately come out the champion. You said Uber. I remember Lyft was at the same time as Uber. Uber gave everybody free rides for like 3 months, and now everybody has Uber on their phone.
$60 billion.
You saw the same thing that happened with Blue Apron. There's an explosion of all these different companies that are doing the exact same thing, meal subscription plans. But I'm sure if you look at the stats, Blue Apron is above and beyond everybody else because they gave away meals for free. They literally got all these ingredients for meals and shipped them to your door. That wasn't free for them. They had a lot of expenses, but they had the deepest pockets. They were able to do it. So maybe if you're giving away a free product like that, maybe you don't have funding or you don't have deep pockets, like I said, but you have to come up with a creative way to give them more value than somebody else.
Right.
And then if your product or service is actually as good as you think it is, it will come out on top at the end because they'll try it and then they'll be hooked.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. I think that's all we have for today for questions. Again, we want to mention that there are some tools that we talked about, like Clickx Free. Once you join that, you will get an invite to the Facebook group, and that way you can just get more information, more resources on how you can improve your marketing.
All right. What else? That's it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for joining us. We're going to have this more often, so just like our page and you'll be notified when the next Facebook Live will be. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.